denied knowing two of the three persons murdered by suspected cultists in a forest in Etio in Elime local government area of Rivers State. Spokesman of the institution, William Modi, clarified that the only student known to Uniport was Joy Adoki. Modi added that the late Joy was suspected to be with her parents after the closure of the university since March. The Rivers State government said it is doing its best to avert community transmission of COVID-19 in the state. The State Commissioner for Health, Professor Princefield Chike, said this while inaugurating the 14-man committee set up to accredit isolation and treatment centers for coronavirus in Port Harcourt. Professor Chike said since community transmission of COVID-19 have been recorded in Lagos and Abuja, Rivers State is bracing up for any eventuality. On the 14-man committee, the Commissioner for Health said their role is to search and recommend facilities that can be converted into isolation centers when the state runs out of bed spaces.
So the case of sporadic cases, case of cluster, thank God we have not entered community transmission phase or wavering phase, which means the capacity for the 30-bed treatment center for the state will soon be overstretched, and other centers will definitely have to come up. We have already commenced sentinel search from facilities. So which means all facilities in the state, government and private, should be able to work with the committee to make sure they are doing the right thing. And which means that we cannot run away from the fact that by the time we enter the cluster phase, we are closer to entering community transmission, which is the phase Lagos, Abuja, and Kano is. And by the time we enter that phase, you have to now start running house-to-house tests. We are now following those who fit the case definition and then sentinel search from facilities and maybe mosques and a few other places.
The Rivers State government has announced the total closure of slaughter markets in the Transamadi area of Port Harcourt. This is contained in a statement by the Commissioner for Information and Communication in the state, Paulinus Interim. The Rivers State government stressed that anyone caught flouting the directive will be decisively dealt with. Paulinus Interim stated that the closure of slaughter markets takes immediate effect. The importance of face masks to combat the spread of COVID-19 has been re-emphasized as Governor Nyesom Wike's directive on compulsory wearing a face mask takes effect in Rivers State. President of Medical Women Association of Nigeria in Rivers State, Veti Agala, in an interview with our correspondent, said wearing a face mask does not prevent the virus without avoiding large gathering. Veti Agala told correspondent Fred Alarichi that while clothes face masks can serve in certain conditions, it should not be used for children less than 2 years old.
Because we are wearing a face mask. So face mask, yes, to help us as we go out to prevent people from coughing up onto our face or sneezing or whatever. Secondly, it's expected, I think there's a WHO federal government recommendation of the kind of mask we should use. It should have at least 2 or 3 layers, something like that, about 3 layers of mask, okay? But I know that people already have 1 layer, like just one piece of cloth that they are using. Using that mask, you must know how to handle that mask as much as possible to prevent infection. So you must always wash your hands frequently. Adhere to everything that we have said before. Don't use that cloth mask on children that are less than 2 years old. And recently we heard that people go and be trying on face masks. So what it means is that before you use any mask that you buy, you should wash it.
A group under the aegis of Kalabari Unity Project Initiative for Good Governance has thanked Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike for the palliative sent to the Kalabari Kingdom. Addressing newsmen in Port Harcourt, the President General of the group, Jerry Oswald, described the gesture as divine palliatives, which he said will sustain the people for about 6 months. Oswald said the food items sent by the governor through his palliative distribution committee has once again proven his love for Kalabari Kingdom, assuring that Kalabari people will continue to stand by the governor in his political endeavors.
On behalf of our dynamic sole patron, Engineer Victor Obuzo JP, we commend our dynamic, indefatigable executive governor, Chief Barrister Nyesom Ezewon Wike. He has done wonderfully well to the Calabar nation. At this point in time of COVID-19, where there is lockdown, suffering because of COVID-19, but His Excellency Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike did not forget. Yes, I have love for the Calabar nation. He sent a palliative that is very, very wonderful. The distribution is in order. The distribution is in line with His Excellency's directive. Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike loves the Calabar nation, and that is why the palliative would describe it as a divine palliative that will keep the people of Calabar Kingdom for more than 6 months.
Also also use the opportunity to commend all government appointees from Calabar as well as traditional rulers and other stakeholders for standing by the governor in ensuring that all that is due to the people are given to them.
Thank His Excellency Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike for standing by Rivers people to ensure that COVID-19 does not spread across the state, and also all Calabar commissioners, special advisors, and the SIG, Dr. Tammy Danagogo, for standing by His Excellency and also standing by the Calabar people in sending their own palliative. The House of Assembly members across the 3 Calabar Kingdom, the kings, and all prominent members. We thank you. May God Almighty bless His Excellency, the dynamic SIG, and all commissioners, all special advisors, and other positions in the new vision government of Chief Barrister Nyesom Wike.
Our correspondent, Uchendu Ejewo, reports that the President General of the group disclosed that Calabar Unity Project Initiative for Good Governance monitored and supervised the distribution of the palliative in the Calabar Kingdom. Nigeria has recorded 170 new cases of the coronavirus, bringing the total number of infections to 2,558. Of the new infections, 39 are in Lagos, 29 from Kano, 24 in Ogun, and 18 from Bauchi State. The FCT and Sokoto had 12 each, while Katsina has 8 cases and 7 cases were recorded in Borno. 3 cases were recorded in Nasarawa, 2 in Adamawa, and 1 in Oyo State. The National Coordinator of the Presidential Task Force in COVID-19, Sani Guazo, has said the mass deaths in Kano were connected to the outbreak of the virus in this state. The state has recorded an unusual increase in deaths since it recorded its first coronavirus case in April. Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje has denied that the deaths were linked to COVID-19, saying investigation was ongoing. Ganduje also announced that after consultation with the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, the government had agreed on verbal autopsy to ascertain the cause of the death. Speaking with News Menu during the official presentation and handing over of the mobile testing laboratory donated to the state government, Guazo, who also lost his father in the mass death, said investigation had shown that COVID-19 was responsible for some of the deaths. He also said the final report on the deaths would be ready in the next 1 week or few days. There are 313 COVID-19 cases in Kano, which has the second highest number of coronavirus patients in Nigeria. And you are listening to the World News at noon on Today95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After this break, more news, foreign and sports stories. Please do stay tuned.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
And we're back.
Thank you for staying tuned to the World News at noon, Day 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. Welcome back. Now, allow me bring you the rest of the bulletin. The Nigerian Union of Allied Health Professionals has advised President Muhammadu Buhari to reverse the decision to relax measures on COVID-19 lockdown, which takes effect from today. National President of the Nigerian Union of Allied Health Professionals, Obina Ogbona, and General Secretary Martin Agba-Nubi, in a statement, said relaxation of the lockdown is premature and is capable of eroding all the gains so far made in the fight against COVID-19. The union demanded the immediate reversal of the decision by FG to relax lockdown in Abuja, Lagos, and Ogun states, procurement of more testing kits, and establishment of more isolation centers. Nigerian Union of Allied Health Professionals also said the decision to call for the reversal of the presidential order was based on his observation in the last few days concerning increase in the number of infected persons, number of deaths, and testing capacity. This comes days after the Nigerian Medical Association and against the president's decision to ease the lockdown, saying that it is capable of worsening the situation. President Buhari had in his last broadcast approved the implementation of a phased and gradual easing of the lockdown order in Lagos, Ogun states, and the Federal Capital Territory. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Sunday Thomas as the Substantive Commissioner for Insurance, Chief Executive Officer, National Insurance Commission. The announcement was made by Yunusa Abdullahi, the Special Advisor to the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed. Thomas replaced the immediate past Commissioner for Insurance, CEO Mohamed Kari, as Acting Commissioner for Insurance / CEO of the National Insurance Commission in July 2019. The statement said Thomas, who has over 3 decades of experience in the industry as an operator and regulator, was appointed Deputy Commissioner in charge of technical matters by President Buhari in April 2017. He was formerly Director General of the Nigerian Insurers Association in 2010. The Central Bank of Nigeria and the banks in the country have agreed to suspend the planned sack of workers in the banking sector as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. The decision was reached at a meeting called between the CBN and the Bankers Committee in Abuja. Director Corporate Communications of CBN, Isaac Okorafo, said the committee particularly deliberated on the issue of the operating cost of banks in view of the disruptions emanating from the global economic difficulties and decided as follows. Okorafo added that in order to help minimize and mitigate the negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on families and livelihoods, no bank in Nigeria shall retrench or lay off any staff of any cadre, including full-time and part-time workers. Now on the foreign scene, Tanzanian President John Magufuli has questioned the country's coronavirus numbers and called on the authorities to investigate what he described as sabotage at the national laboratory. The East African country had recorded 480 cases of the virus with 18 deaths last week. Magufuli, who doubted the credibility of laboratory equipment and technicians, said they may have compromised after a papaya, a quail, and a goat tested positive for the virus. Tanzania is one of the few countries in Africa that are yet to take extensive measures against the virus, with the president playing down the seriousness of the disease. Magufuli said Tanzania is currently in talks with Madagascar for a portion that the island nation claims cures COVID-19 within 10 days. United States President Donald Trump has warned that as many as 100,000 people could die of coronavirus in the U.S. Speaking at a 2-hour virtual town hall meeting, Trump also denied that his administration had acted too slowly. More than 67,000 people have already died with COVID-19 in the U.S., but Trump expressed optimism about the development of a vaccine, saying one would be ready by the end of the year, although public health experts believe it will take 12 to 18 months. And to end the news, here's a summary of the major stories. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Nigerian police to fish out other culprits in the death of 3 students in Eleme local government area of Rivers State. The Rivers State government has announced the complete closure of the slaughter market in the Transamadi area of Port Harcourt. The number of COVID-19 cases in Nigeria has risen to 2,558. On the foreign scene, Tanzanian president has ordered an investigation into the number of COVID-19 cases in his country. That was the news. As edited by Chinedi Iwuna. For comments and inquiries, please call 0815-341-8657 or 0814-434-3502. Do send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com. You can also read our stories on www.todayfmlive.com. Do not forget, take responsibility